Give Back Saturday, and I'm really excited. We are heading to a place called KidWorks. KidWorks is in downtown Santa Ana area. Tough neighborhood, a lot of gang activity, a lot of poverty. KidWorks started about 30 plus years ago in a little apartment unit catered to the neighborhood kids. And they just opened up the apartment and let the kids come and do homework and play and feel safe. Since most of their parents were a two-parent working household, the kids didn't really have anywhere safe to go after school. So KidWorks was founded in the little neighborhood of Santa Ana, and it has since grown in the last 30 years. They start at pre-K and take the kids all the way up to high school. It's a really special place. I'm excited to share it with you. I've been trying to volunteer there for a couple years now. They have an extensive volunteer criteria, probably why they didn't let me in. Anyway, they have extensive background check and fingerprinting and training and an interview, and I had passed all of that. I wanted to work with little kids. I found out about it because my daughter-in-law called me one day. I had been working and volunteering in downtown Watts, mentoring little girls, and when that ended, I had a really hard time finding a place to give my time and heart. And I've been on a lot of fundraising committees, and fundraising is very important because if charities or organizations didn't have money, they couldn't run. I'm just not that person. I'm not good at asking for money, and I would rather roll up my sleeves and go give my time. And as a mom, I have a heart for kids. I've always had a heart for kids. We've mentioned before that Zeus has a heart for homeless. And it's not that Zeus was ever homeless, it's just something that he feels deep inside. So for me, my daughter-in-law called and said, hey, I think I found this place for you. They're recruiting at my office and they're looking for people to read to little kids. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Reading to little kids? That is right up my alley. So I went through the process, and the day before I was getting ready to start, they closed for a year for COVID. So other than, a couple Zoom calls and making donations, we just haven't had the opportunity to get involved. So I went to a fundraiser for KidWorks, and a girl got up and spoke and said that she was getting ready to graduate from high school and that she was really hoping to get some kind of a computer or a Chromebook. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, back on Cyber Monday, Cyber Sunday, Cyber Tuesday, whatever that Cyber Day is, Zeus just bought 10 Chromebooks. It was a really good deal, and he just thought, I'm gonna buy 10 Chromebooks, and I'm sure that sometime within Empty Nesters we'll find a way to use them. And that was at least 6 months ago. So I pulled the director aside and I said, how many students are you talking about? And she said, we have 10. I went, well, isn't that interesting? We just happen to have 10 Chromebooks at our house. So they were really excited. So today we are heading off to KidWorks. We're gonna do a tour. We're gonna meet some of the kids. Some of the kids have already left for college, and some of them are going to come today, and we're going to interview them. They have this program called the College Success Initiative, and it's a 2-year program. They start about their junior year in high school, and they go through a month where they have 28 days of scholarship applications, and it's a competition, and their goal is to apply for 28 scholarships in 28 days. They did it in February. They have a mentor, a youth mentor for a year that's a young professional. They take the kids through the application process and the financial aid process. And then once they're admitted to college, they stay with them and support them through the 4 or 5 years it takes to get to college. So these kids are all first generation. They're the first person in their family to get to go to college. And I've mentioned before that was me. I was the first person in my family to get to go to college. Well, the first girl. My brother was the first boy. And it means a lot. And it means a lot to these families. And these kids work really, really hard, and their parents work hard. And I know that they were greatly affected by COVID. Both their parents were either out of work, or the kids were, school was closed, and then sometimes they were all crammed in their homes together with grandparents and parents and kids. And I know that Santa Ana was greatly affected by COVID. When they were reporting that Los Angeles had big numbers, Santa Ana had bigger numbers. And for some reason, I don't know why that wasn't reported. But anyway, I'm really excited. Come with us. We will introduce it to you, and stay tuned. Loading up the car. Lots of special treats, just like Santa. Back to school Santa. or the back to school ferry. How about that?
Okay. Locking up.
Doesn't look like much, but it's a lot. Zeus is locking the door. Here we go. Empty nesters unite with KidWorks. I aim to make your life fabulous.
So we're in the Beast. The Beast also can be known as the JFK car because this was the year that John F. Kennedy was in a Lincoln convertible when it was not the best day in history. But I'm with Jackie O, who's pretty hot.
Hey, I love this car, but what is the point of doing your hair if you're gonna ride for 30 minutes in a convertible? And I don't want to deny Zeus his joy of being in the car.
That's fun.
So we're off to our special giveaway weekend, and we are going to Santa Ana, which is about 20 minutes from where we live, and we are going to the KidWorks youth program.
Tell us a little bit about KidWorks, Stephanie, and why it's so important to you.
It's a very special place, and it's for, I have to take this off because it's super itchy. Ugh. Anyway, I'll tell you later.
Thank you. Very, very detailed, in-depth. Much appreciated, and I'm pretty sure our fellow empty nesters will be fired up about KidWorks.
I'm Jessica Molina, and I'm going to University of Laverne.
I'm Jair Betanzos, going to UC Santa Cruz.
My name is Abraham Hernandez.
I'm going to Cal State Fullerton.
I am attending Santa Ana College.
My name is Erica Sanchez. I've been at KidWorks since I was 4 years old.
I've been a part of KidWorks for 8 years.
8 years.
Since second grade.
9 years already.
I've actually just recently got into KidWorks, just last year. But the time that I have been here, I felt really connected with the people here.
They really help us out a lot. Academically or like financially, they always like find a way to help us.
Growing up, I had a lot of trouble with homework, and then my parents found out about KidWorks and they signed me up.
Just KidWorks itself, it's a great place to be. I feel like I'm at home.
When we are at KidWorks, we're safe, we're happy.
When I started actually going to school, I didn't realize, I didn't know English. By that time, KidWorks had opened a little apartment complex, and I just have memories of us running to KidWorks. It was just part of life.
And from there, just a whole process. Learning and everyone means so much to me.
Just meeting new people from out of states. I've met someone from Arizona. I've never been there, so it was pretty exciting.
I was really shy, and like now they've seen me grown up and evolve into like this new person that I am.
I feel like living at where I'm at, which is a pretty heavy gang-affiliated area, is a good example for the younger ones. I have answers sometimes that could guide them to better places, and showing them that KidWorks is a very, very useful resource.
We grew up in the 90s, and there was a lot of gang violence happening around us. And we were so young, we didn't realize that it was happening around us. So when I think about KidWorks, I always think of it being a safe place where I didn't have to think about those things.
Watching both of my parents work extremely hard and work overtime just enough to live week by week, and I don't want that for me. So that's probably one of the main reasons why I want to go to college.
I feel like I do have a little bit of pressure to try to be as clean as possible for my brothers to have an example of what they could be and even be better.
So our two pieces are college readiness and college success. We do college visits, wellness check-in, we do financial aid workshops. I really make it a point to help them feel like college can be their home. Especially during COVID, we were sending postcards to students as a way to remind them, like, hey, keep going. We're rooting for you and we're here for whatever you need. The students you just interviewed, they're our most recent graduates, and they completed our college app program. A few of them even got some of those scholarships, and some of our students, there's just this huge gap in tech and the resources that they have. So we think of ourselves as bridge builders for students, really wanting to fill in those resources. And we do that through partners and through people that are excited to give and hear our stories of our students, hear the stories of KidWorks, and that want to give, want to support students like ours. And again, proud of them, because 10 years ago, that was not the reality of my community, and I get to be part of that change.
I want to say thank you, and it's really going to help me out, like turn in my assignments and like keep track of everything.
I've been using a tablet, but it's pretty hard using the tablet right now. It could be really helpful.
I want to be like them who donates computers. Just things for kids. It could be a simple book, but I want to do that for the future generations to come. I want to be that person that brings a smile to their face.
I think I'm gonna like give a donation like when I'm older, because they've helped me a lot, and like I want them to help more of the students that are coming in.
If it wasn't for them, I don't know how I'd build myself up to where I'm at right now. This is more than a learning experience. This is more of a real life option, and something others don't have.
It's a program where the people have been in the same like steps and shoes that they've been to, so they could really help you.
It may be scary at first because you don't know anybody, like any staff, but they're very welcoming, and like they'll make you feel like you're home.
KidWorks is home, maybe just more than a home. It's where you create family, you make your network, you meet new people and new experiences.
Well, that was a fascinating day. Fun, emotional, enjoyable, educational. What other old words can I use?
I don't know. I hope that you got to see how inspiring it was. I hope you got to see how much it meant to us. I don't know if the camera could possibly portray how special it was, especially with the limitation of masks.
Yeah,
It's a very special place. When we walked around in the tour, it's so full of hope and happiness and kindness, and it's not just an after-school program. It's about teaching these kids to be leaders and teaching them to be good people. I feel like I've found a really good place for me to give my time and my heart. But one of the things I have to do, I don't have to, but I want to learn to speak fluent Spanish. I know a lot of Spanish. There's a lot of Spanish in here. I gotta get it out.
Yeah, I've seen her trying to get it out. So I think she's got a lot to learn, but I think it will absolutely be something that can be very helpful, especially working at KidWorks and being able to just really understand the community too.
That is such a community the Latino community is so full of family, and they're inspiring. They're very inspiring. These kids, I don't know, I can't say enough about it. I don't want to go on a whole lecture about culture, but I got a lot out of today. And like I said, I think this is going to be one of my favorite things so far to do. The giving back is always my favorite. And the travel, don't get me wrong. I'm really having fun on the travel.
Yeah, it was definitely something that we were excited to do. The kids, I think, were very appreciative about the Chromebooks, and it's just hopefully sending them off with some things that can really help them in their studies.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me that Erica, who heads the whole program, she's been there since she was 4 years old.
It's amazing.
She now has gone on to college. She has a master's. She's worked in the Philippines for 4 years, opening volunteer centers.
Four
volunteer centers.
Yeah.
She keeps in contact with every single one of the kids that they launch into college. She goes and visits them.
Yep.
She follows up with them. Those kids get so much support.
It's amazing.
Well, she was saying something like 75% of the kids that they send away stay in school.
Yep.
And the national average among the Latino community,
25%. 25%. It's unbelievable.
So the fact that they have put so much into these kids shows that it is definitely a successful program.
So we hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we'll put the information in the link to KidWorks, and if you want to find more information out about it, or if you would like to donate, or anything that you want to volunteer, anything that your heart heartstrings tug at. We are just really thankful and blessed to have been a part of that today.
Yep. Pretty darn cool. Now we're going to go home and watch movies after Zeus rear ends the car in front of us.
But she doesn't try and tell me how to drive. That's the one good thing
I didn't tell him how to drive.
in our relationship.
Telling you how to drive would have been to say stop.
Right? See? Nothing changes.
Okay, we're going on the freeway now. And the scene.
And scene.